Hey, you guys and gals out there and all you hockey fans. Drew and I are going to be doing this 2x2 today. We lost one of our buddies. It must have been because of all the New York Rangers goose eggs in the win column. What would you got to say?
I have a little bit of his tears right here, freshly imported from Donnie. Donnie, I know it's a hard thing to take, man, and we miss you. Just try to put ice on the burned area and preparation H as much as possible, because I'm sure the butthurt is immense. But yes, right.
So
he said we could dish on him. He said we could dish on him.
So on that note, this is What the Puck brought to you by Game On Podcast for a sports podcast for everyone. So of course we got Drew in Nashville. You got myself, Jeff, in upstate New York in a small town called Messina, Ranger country and also Habs country. So on that note, you know what? Carolina ticked off the New York Rangers fans by beating them 3-0, and we've also ticked off Montreal in the past because they thought they could give Aho an offer sheet last summer. And, you know, I don't know if that's a bigger joke than the Detroit Red Wings record this year, but, you know, they're pretty damn close.
Whoosh. Even Detroit goes, yeah, you know, that's pretty funny.
Oh, God. And
both are.
What's even worse is when you get beat by the same team 4 times in a row, being the worst in the league, and then all of a sudden you beat the Pittsburgh Penguins. But we'll get to that stuff later.
Definitely, man.
Any input
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, last week was crazy. We had a bunch of teams get eliminated in quick succession. I mean, I don't know about y'all. Sorry, Pittsburgh, but I'm not sorry. I'm not bitter about 2017 either, I promise. But it makes me so happy to watch them lose again to a team that is considered a fringe team.
Oh, yeah.
Because you think the Islanders, and Donnie would probably agree with me, like, oh, the Islanders ain't shit. Well, no, they're not.
That is true.
But they did sweep the Pittsburgh Penguins in 4. And, yeah, Montreal took them to the cleaning house this time. And people can give me any excuse they want, and there's no excuse, Pittsburgh, for losing to a team that got beat by the Red Wings all year.
Exactly.
No excuse. None.
You know what New York Islanders have, and I know Donnie's going to hate me on this one, but they have a Barry Trotz.
They do have a Barry Trotz. But which Barry Trotz did they get?
The bald one.
Well, everybody's had the bald one. Actually, no. We've had the one with hair, to be quite honest. We had the one with hair. That was our Barry Trotz.
We got Rod the Bod, so.
Yeah, I mean, and you had Laviolette, Mr. Cup, who didn't do nothing for us, or Philadelphia for that matter.
Exactly.
Anyways.
So let's get to a couple things. Just to let you guys know, tonight we're going to cover the lottery that was at 6 o'clock tonight. If you haven't seen it yet, we'll let you know who got that draft pick. And we all know someone is extremely happy in this group. After that, we're going to get right into a quick recap of the round robin as well as the qualifiers. And then to end it off, we're going to do a live bracket challenge where Drew and I are going to pick our teams to win the cup. I've already done about 2 or 3 myself, so I kind of know who I'm going to go with, but maybe I'll switch things up here. What about you, Drew?
I haven't really picked yet, but I'm going to look at the bracket, make my decisions, and I'm going to lock them in later tonight. Hopefully I'll be able to do that.
Cool. All right, so let's get started with the big news of the day. New York Rangers got the number 1 draft pick.
Anybody but Pittsburgh. Anybody. Or Edmonton. Anybody today. I know the Habs are kind of like, but the French boy. Don't worry. New York will do something dumb eventually and trade him. You'll get your shot.
You know, I was kind of disappointed with the way that New York's number 2 draft pick from last year happened. I mean, Kako's such a great player, but he shit the bed for the Rangers. I mean, you didn't even hear his name in the qualifiers, yet alone, yeah, he was on the ice, but what did he do?
Yeah, he didn't really seem to be a standout player. Like, people were talking about him. I thought Kako was a good pick, though. Capo was a fantastic pick. I don't know if that team is utilizing him in the ways that he could be.
I think he got rushed into the NHL. I think they saw him as that potential, and then it just flaked out on him. Now, here's the important thing. Do the Rangers pick up Alex, or do they go trade for a bigger, better deal than how do you pronounce his name? Lafreniere or something?
It's French. La baguette.
Poutine.
Le Poutine. Le Poutine. He is a good boy.
Oui.
I don't know, man. Like they could, I don't know. If the Rangers don't go for Alex, okay, maybe they draft a goalie. Another one, who knows?
Hey, but what about
Hanks? What? What about who?
I mean, what about King Long?
Yeah, you could.
So.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's in the Rangers' ball court now. It's what they want to do, and if they can utilize a number one pick, like we just talked about with Capo Caco, are you going to utilize this talent, or are you going to see him for what he is? Like in Nashville, when we draft some guy, right? He doesn't hit the ice off the bat with us. He goes to Milwaukee for a couple years. That's always kind of been our thing of, Barry, we're talking about Trotz. Barry Trotz always said you got to let them get their man strength up.
Yeah.
The NHL is a different league, different speed, and they got to get used to playing at that caliber. So I think anybody who gets them, if they want to utilize them properly, they might have to sit and bake the bread for a year or two. Let them sit in the minors for just a wee bit. But don't get rid of them. Don't get rid of them.
Why bake the bread when you already got Panarin?
Hot, fresh, daily.
Yeah. Oh. I heard there was a fresh delivery the day after the Canes beat the Rangers, too.
Yeah, how does that work?
I don't know, but I did do a little bit of a number research on Alex. He's from the QMJHL. The last person to be drafted number one from that league, if I am correct, is Marc-Andre Fleury. And look how he dominated the league.
Definitely, for sure.
So
yeah.
I'm not much of a numbers guy. You guys know that. I'm more of the comedy side. But I did do a little bit of research on him. I know I hurt my head. But this kid is only 18 years old. He had 42 points, 12 goals, 3 assists in the International Ice Hockey Federation Junior Championships in 2020. So, I mean, I've also asked a couple of other fellow hockey guys about him, and they say that he's pretty much the next Mario Lemieux.
Wow. Wow. Ew. That's a big title to be bestowing upon the young man that quick. I wouldn't, judging by those numbers in general, I wouldn't say Mario Lemieux is a little bit of a stretch. But calling from that, and since Marc-Andre did come from that league, who knows? He could be something very, very good. Like, I know for us, we were all up in arms about getting Eli Tolvanen from the KHL. And Tolvy's put in work in Milwaukee more than he has in Nashville. So, yet again, I don't know. For me, you got to kind of see how the kid pans out. Wherever he goes, see how he pans out. I'm not going to make a call on him just yet. I'm not going to put the Mario Lemieux albatross on him either. I just can't do that. But somebody to watch for sure. Somebody to look at.
And the two other studs, I mean, I only did like the top 3 possible draft picks. And I mean, Tim Stützle from Germany in the Deutsche Eishockey Liga. I mean, 18 years old. This year's 7 goals, 27 assists. I mean, even in 41 games, he had .66 assists with .83 goals per game.
Wow.
And
now that's somebody I'd be looking at, especially if I need a goal scorer.
Exactly. And the Rangers need a lot more goal scorers because, you know what, they played Pee Wee hockey this past week.
Now, is that coming from an unbiased analytical view, or is that coming from your jersey? Are you saying that from the mind or from the jersey?
I'm saying that as a hockey person. I tell you what, from the time the puck dropped last Saturday till the time the puck stopped being shot around last night, I guarantee you I've watched over 3,000 minutes of ice hockey. And even on the road trip, I had my iPad with me.
Yeah.
A hotspot. And I used my phone to connect to my iPad, and I watched all the games while on the road. So there was a lot of hockey that I watched this past week, and it's been a minute. So
yeah, I work all day, so I don't get to watch as much. We're taking care of the little one and everything like that. But from what I have watched, all the highlights and everything, this qualifier round was pretty awesome. It was fun hockey. Now, granted, some teams brought out the idea of, well, let's tank for number one. But I think teams like Arizona, teams that really had nothing to lose, just went for it.
And not to brag, but I did call Arizona. Not
brag. Okay. I walked into that. But you go you look at Nashville, a 6 seed, and you're like, oh, they're gonna roll the Yotes. We roll them any other time during, the regular season, and we just it's a speed bump on the road to the playoffs. But this year, man, there's something about this qualifier that just amped up the average or the less than average teams to say, what do we have? We shouldn't even be here right now, but here we are. So let's just go for it and see what happens. So
exactly.
that's how you get what Montreal did to Pittsburgh, and that's how you get what happened to us. By the way, I will note that I am on the show. I know how to show up the day after a loss and take that L. Where's Donnie?
Well, I don't know, but I guarantee there's a bigger river down in Indiana where he's from, and I guarantee it's pretty flooded by now.
Mm-hmm. Lots of tears. But
so just one last note on the top 3 possible draft picks. The last one is Quentin Bayfield, 17-year-old from the OHL, 82 points this past season, 32 goals, 50 assists, 1.82 points per game. Again, that is the OHL. The OHL is known for its fighting, but 1.2 or 1.82 points per game. That is incredible.
Yeah, to manage through that and still be able to make good hockey without having to always beat the crap out of someone. And the guy sounds proficient. He sounds really efficient in scoring in that department. So another good opportunity for a big goal scorer for whoever picks him up.
Oh, so kind of like how the Carolina Hurricanes outplayed and outscored the Rangers. I think it was 11-5, or I don't know. Even Lundqvist fell down a few times and they popped the puck in the net.
Yeah. Man, I almost wanted to feel sorry for the Rangers. I really didn't feel sorry for the Rangers as much as I felt sorry for Hank. How does it feel being in a qualifier round to begin with and then not even making it to the first round after the first round?
Yeah.
That man has just been through so much. If Hank doesn't go to Seattle, I'm putting money on him retiring, over the offseason.
I could see him going to possibly Colorado. Look what Colorado did with Patrick Waugh. When, I believe, what was it, 99 or 2000, or 90, it was either 98, 99, or 2000 when he played his last game in Montreal after, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Detroit acted him with,
yeah.
I'm not sure if it was Detroit. Don't quote me on that, people. I do apologize. But I know he got blasted with 9 goals against.
Yeah.
And
he comes back to the bench and says, trade me. Trade me now.
I'm never playing in a Montreal Canadiens jersey again. And I guarantee you those weren't the words that he said, but we're going to keep it PG because it's Patrick Waugh. He's a respected man. So
you go ahead and ask Vernon about that. Ask Vernon about that. Ask Darren McCarty about that.
Hey, I'm a goalie. I got to back my goalies up.
I know. I'm just saying, man.
So any other last inputs on the draft pick today?
I think it's cool, though. I think it's good for the Rangers to have the first pick. Yet again, I just want to reiterate, It's what you do with it. It's really what you do with it.
Just ask Edmonton about all that.
Yeah, and Toronto about all that. Yeah, they just You want to be able to make that pick and make that pick efficient. So, I suggest if you feel like he's ready for the big show, take him in. If he's not, put him in the minors, let him stew, then bring him out a couple times and just slowly mix him in.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So to move on, we had a lot of hockey last week.
Tons.
And I mean, when I say a lot, I think my brain got fried watching way too much hockey. You know that drug commercial where it says, this is your brain on drugs? Well,
Yeah.
you know what? That was my brain before hockey started. After it got all scrambled.
Mm-hmm. Started looking at plays in your sleep.
Yeah.
No, pass right. Pass left. No, left. Right. Shoot it. Wait.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, what series and conference do you want to start out with? Do you want to start out with the qualifiers or the round robin?
Man, let's start out with the qualifiers. I feel like that did a lot, and there's some things to talk about there too.
Do we want to? Or go ahead.
Let's start with the qualifiers real quick. Just kind of go over those. I think that there's so much good hockey played in that qualifier round, and the round robin was fun too.
Yeah.
I also want to reiterate how cool it is that Philly went from 4 to 1. That Philadelphia team is hot, boy. I tell you,
We'll get to that.
They are mean.
So, do we want to start out with your favorite conference, or
we can go to the East? We can go to the East. Let's go to the East because I feel like I learned a little bit about the East by watching Montreal.
So since Donnie's not here, let's trample all over New York.
Okay.
And we're not talking about the Islanders.
Nah, because we already know.
Because we already know the Islanders moved on, whereas the Rangers are sitting there sipping tea, playing video games. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, Carolina came out headstrong. They came out wanting to win, and they came out knowing what they had to do in order to do it, or else they had to deal with Rob the Bot afterwards. And I tell you what, Quinn does not look like one of those coaches that he's too much of a pretty boy. Every time you see him on the bench, he looks like a pretty boy.
Yeah, he's got that nice manicured mustache, and he kind of looks. Yeah, he's a makeup artist back in the locker room, just touching up all those years of work in the United Center, you know.
Yeah, and those curls. Oh my God, did you see those curls?
Yes, the curls. So you're so pretty.
Jesus,
got a hairstylist back there too.
So that series, at first, before anybody wanted to predict the actual outcome, Rangers fans were like, oh, yeah, we beat them 4-0 during the regular season. We got this. It's going to be an easy cakewalk. And it looks like New York came in and hit a wall before it even hit the ice.
I mean, it was not – I don't know. To me, I just – like I said, I feel like New York just didn't want it. They're like, let's go for that first pick, boys. Let's just get this over with. Even though Hank was like, can we try to win a little bit? The team just went, but should we though? Probably not. So, yeah. I don't know. They looked flat. They looked unenthused. And they did not look like they wanted to be there in the first place. So,
and out of all honesty, there is no one hero on the Canes. Everybody participated. First ever hat trick for Svechnikov in a playoff, as well as first.
Hey, didn't Svech just sign with somebody else real quick?
No, that's his brother. That was his brother that signed with
Detroit. Okay. Woo! I'm like, that's a crazy move. Middle of the playoffs, and you're going to sign your top guy. Okay.
Yep. Imagine 2 Svechnikovs in one league right now.
Man, it would almost be like the Sedins if they ended up on the same team together.
And you know what? It's kind of funny because I've been talking with a few people down in Carolina, and they're saying the same thing. Why don't we make some kind of offer to get them? So to end that series out, James Reimer, if you watch this, you saved us in Game 3, and you played your ass off. So on that note, with that series, Carolina wins over Donnie's New York Rangers. Can we get a tear? And won 3-0. 3 games to none. So enjoy those goose eggs, boys. Next one, Donnie's least favorite. And
everybody's least favorite series, honestly. Let's be honest.
And that is the New York Islanders versus the Florida Panthers. That was a shit show.
The arena literally like both of their home arenas, so they probably felt just like normal.
Well, New York Islanders didn't even have a home this year. It was like split between stepmom and stepdad. Like,
Nassau in the Barclays Center. It's like,
yeah.
So it's, I don't know, man. Florida, there's got to be something that changes down there. I don't know what it is. I don't know how teams – I've never understood this about the NHL. I've never understood how teams can get so irrelevant so quick, and maybe that's lack of talent, lack of wins, lack of just overall energy that makes them interesting. It's like I wonder to myself sometimes with the way that we've gone in the postseason, how are we still selling out games at Bridgestone during the regular season? Like, how are we still doing that? So, like, both teams are kind of like, take them or leave them. I forgot they existed, especially Florida. Yep. Like, you have Tampa Bay. You share a state where literally one of Tampa Bay's guys takes all 3 top positions on the card for them.
Yeah. I think one of the lines that I use on one of my recaps, I'm not sure if you've seen any of those recaps that I was doing on Instagram for Game On, but one of them was when Holla and the Florida Panthers actually stole this one game. And I was like, you know what? Holla's milkshake must have brought all the boys to the yard and the Panthers too, because there's pucks going in left and right because of his assisted. I know he scored 1 or 2, as well as assisting on like major goals. So you know what? Holla was a good pickup for Florida. We're glad he left Carolina in a way. Well, I am personally. But do you have any or actually, you know what? Bobrovsky. I felt bad for that guy.
Bob killed it. Bob came out and showed out. Like, he tried. Yep. That crazy save that he made. Like, I think, and just flipping over, like, that was some Dominic Hasek type crap. Like, coming out the crease, flipping on his head. That man really tried, man. Like, he had to be talking to Carey Price, like, Carey, help. How do I? And Carey went, well, all you got to do is just try to be better than your defense. Okay. Okay.
I think Babs was better than his defense and his whole entire team put together.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? If he doesn't win some kind of team award, like an individual team award, then you know what? I'll just give him a participation trophy for making it to the qualifiers.
The fact that he got off the plane really counts is what I feel. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because the rest of the team didn't at all.
So any closing notes on that series?
Nah, man. I don't think anybody has any closing notes on that series.
Hey, Donnie, just a reminder, the Islanders won, the Rangers lost, and you're nowhere in sight to defend the Rangers. So can we say the Islanders are better than the Rangers?
A little bit.
Just a wee
bit. Just a wee bit, lads. Wee bit.
All right, so the Islanders close out that series 3. Save the best for last, or do you want to go right into the best series other than the Carolina Rangers series?
Which series? Because there's 2 that I'm thinking of. Because right now Columbus and Toronto is like hitting my brain radar.
All right. So do we want to go for the upset or oh my God, blow my mind?
I want to blow my mind first, and then I want to go for the upset.
Okay. So
let's blow some minds.
Wow.
I didn't see it going 5. I really don't even know what to say right now.
So
I'm sorry, Maple Leafs fans, that I ever doubted the ability. You didn't win, but by God, you tried.
I tell you what, I was on the road trip on Friday watching this game, and after Toronto did what they did, because my buddy that was driving out of time, I was the passenger, he's like, oh, it's all over. CBJ's up 3-0. It's in the third period. There's this much time left. I'm like, no. Anything can happen.
Yeah, all the football fans are triggering, like, they're seeing Falcons-Patriots flashbacks from halftime. Like,
Exactly. or last year's Super Bowl between the 49ers and
oh yeah.
No one saw Kansas City coming back that quickly.
Mahomes.
So Toronto, in the third period, with under 4.5 minutes left, get ready to pull Anderson in net, who by God saved them every single chance he got. They came back with 3 goals, and it was back to back to back. And then they won in overtime by Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, you know what? They kind of remind me of the Bee Gees in the third period.
Stay alive.
So I cut to I made a clip art of I grabbed the Bee Gees photo, and then I grabbed Tavares. Who was it? Hyman that scored?
I think so.
Hyman and
Hyman.
What's his name? Their other stud, Marner.
Yeah.
So I grabbed their faces. I cut out their faces, pasted it on the Bee Gees faces, and I was like, the Maple Leafs feeling that Bee Gees vibe while they're staying alive. So, staying alive.
That was cool though. Like, see, here's the thing, and Toronto fans, y'all probably agree with this. You're all going, why can't you do this every year? Hello. So now the team makes it to the arena finally. Ugh.
Yeah.
What's it all about, eh?
Oh, I know. And then yesterday, that open net. If they hit that open net in the first period, instead of bouncing off the post and then bouncing off of who was it? It was Corpusalo in net, and hitting off of his pad, that would have changed the whole entire aspect of the game because it would have been a 1-1 game.
Yup. Sadly, though, Leafs are going to do Leafs things.
And they're going to fall just like every year.
Every single year.
Around wintertime almost, where they start falling.
Mm-hmm. But this time it's more like a late fall, like August. But we'll just take it. We'll take it as it is.
Yeah, if you can have Christmas in July, we can have fall in August.
Yeah, right now we kind of have to.
And Toronto knows falling.
Yeah. I will give it that. That they fought back hard and they tried. By God, they tried.
Yeah, they
did. Toronto, I apologize. Apologize to all the angry Canadians that I made angry. You guys pulled it out. Still came up short. That's what y'all do. But I have a feeling in the next 40 years you'll get that Stanley Cup. Give it 40 years.
So on that note, anything else from you, Drew?
Nah, man. That's how I feel.
So in that series, and it was a mind-blowing series, not going to lie, Toronto loses 3-2 to Columbus. Torch is back in the playoffs, so let's see where this goes against Tampa.
Let's go. Oh, Tampa having flashbacks too. Not Columbus. Kucherov's back there like, don't want to play Columbus. I don't want to play them. I don't want to do that. Going through his road.
Yeah, we'll get all to that. We'll get to those matchups later when we do our bracket challenge. Now, the biggest upset out of both the Western and the Eastern Conference. And I don't know if all three of us seen this happening.
I didn't.
I do recall I said if this series is an upset, Carey Price is going to be the one to do it.
And by God, he was.
Oh.
Like, I don't even know where this Carey Price has been. As a matter of fact, Montreal's probably trying to figure that out themselves. Like, that's our guy? Like, yeah. Carey. Like, Care Bear. Like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yet again, like the Leafs, like, if you could do this every year, we'd be fine.
But you know what? He did have a lot of help. He had Suzuki, who was playing off his ass. He had Petrie. Weber was even stepping up. I mean, there's a couple names there's names that I didn't even recognize that were putting the effort in and actually taking. So
I think that's awesome to see, though, that Habs team come together finally at some point where they're being a cohesive machine, or at least starting to. And in many ways, you think, okay, this has got to be the start of something good. Like I said for the Yotes, Yotes have been irrelevant, just like the Habs have been irrelevant. No one's really cared. But these teams go in there knowing that. Like, they came into this qualifier, they said, nobody cares that we exist. What do we got to lose? So there Montreal goes, taking down the giant,
Exactly.
So I think it was beautiful. And on Sidney Crosby's birthday.
Hey, did you already hear that going through the handshake, Carey Price had already pre-ordered Sidney Crosby's in-flight meal for his birthday?
I heard about that. Yeah, that's so nice of him.
I know.
Carey's he's an upstanding gentleman.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Also, I wanted a little bit more contribution from Weber, though. Just because he is one of our boys, always will be. He will always wear navy and blue in my eyes, or navy and gold in my eyes. I don't know. I would have liked to have seen more of Weber, like more of that 106-mile-an-hour slap shot. Notorious for breaking the staffs and stick blades of goalies the world round. But the younger kids like Suzuki and Petrie and even Kokoniemi and all those guys stepping up and getting work done, and just Shea being able to kind of lead as captain and do his thing that he did best. So, yeah, a little bit more contribution from Weber, but he's old. He's getting old, and probably a couple years out from retirement. So, but the younger guys,
Nashville got the shit end of that deal.
I don't even get me started on that. That's a whole episode that I would have to do myself.
All right,
to explain how the Subban deal was bad.
So on that note, any final thoughts on that?
Nah, man. Beauty. Any day the Pens lose is a good day for hockey. I don't care what you think, Pittsburgh fans. I don't care what you think.
My final note is happy birthday, Sid.
Happy birthday.
Even a free flight home.
Yeah.
So to end that series, it was a mind-blowing 3-1. No one ever saw that coming.
Mm-mm.
All the superstars on Pittsburgh seemed to be quiet that whole entire series, except Crosby here and there when he put the puck in the net. Where were you, Malkin? Fleury, or not. Oh, wow.
He's not there anymore.
Murray, I think you just might as well play baseball because your glove's always consistently down. Play shortstop.
Yep, totally. He'll have it.
Yep. So on that one, 3-1. Do you want to move into the round robins from here, or do you want to move right over to the Western and then jump into the round robins?
Let's move over to the West real quick.
All right.
Got some craziness over there that I feel we need to address.
Do you want to take the right now, or do you want to?
I mean, let's just go and get right into it from top to bottom.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, let's just go for it. I'm just going to go ahead and throw hands up and say, I'm sorry, Smashville. We didn't do it. Where in God's name? Okay, see, as a fan, and I will preface this, I love my team. However, we as fans need to hold the team accountable for not, being the team. Haynes benched Pekka for all the games. That made no sense. Don't get me wrong, Soros the kid is fantastic. He's great. Pekka's not hurt. Pekka's not sick. I don't know if this was trying to be symbolic in changing of the guard. Really, the playoffs are no time for your symbology if that's the case. Top line did its thing. Johansson, Arvidsson, Forsberg, very good goals, good cohesive teamwork as always. Good assistance from the third and second lines too. D pairs were all right. I feel like at times they left Saros out to dry and let a lot of soft goals go in. And just overall, I want to say, and I want to be nice to my own team and say that Hines didn't have a chance to let any type of system be really manufactured. He was there for like a month and a half and went on pause. Now, granted, whatever Hines was doing before the pause was working because we got back into a playoff spot, at least a wild card. So it was.
I think you guys 16-game win streak or something to get you guys right back in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we went bonkers. So I want to almost peg it down to it's been off time. And, a lot of these guys have been sitting at the house, only had a month to come back in and train. I mean, and you think to yourself, well, you're playing to play for Stanley, right? So you're going to move more, but that's sometimes not always the case. So Yet again, I think benching Pekka was a bad call. I don't think we should have ever done it like that. And now I'm going to be nice to the Yotes because all 25 of Arizona's fans are probably watching right now. So great. I love all 25 of you. Hope your numbers grow.
And I bet you they're from a retired community.
Yeah. Ekman Larson. Oh, no. I don't want to talk about OEL. No. I want to talk about Kemper. What? Hold up. No. You don't get to do that. You don't get to be that guy playing on the team you play on. Yet again, one of those moments where the Coyotes were like, it's Kemper, right? Yeah. Are you sure? This guy is good. So I don't know. Yet again, these teams that were bottom fringe teams came in with this intensity. Kemper stood on his head, for God's sakes, all night long, every game. And did not to mention the forecheck was great at their blue line. I feel like we had a lot of soft zone entry. We weren't using our forecheck right. It's a habit. I'm used to it. But you try to skate through center to move it in to make a play. They're right there. They're right there. Poke check in and do what they got to do to keep it out of the zone. So I don't know, man. If this is going to be the Arizona Coyotes going forward, I don't want them to be in my conference anymore. Can they please leave back to getting walloped in the East? Please get them over there. But yeah, horrible showing from the Predators. Wrong move to bench Pekka Rinne. I love the kid, but he ain't ready for the playoffs yet. But Pekka might be leaving next year, so it's kind of like you got to do it sometime. So like you said, ripping off the Band-Aid, let it go.
Yep.
So, congratulations, Coyotes. I hope all 25 of your fans, I hope you guys all have your hearing aids in. And you're staying hydrated out in that Gila heat. Good luck in the next round, and thanks for playing.
So I think you said a lot of stuff and a lot of great stuff, so I'm not going to touch on this one too much. But Darcy, wow, impressive. King Griller, Hot Dog Killer Phil Kessel showed up. I mean, the boys stepped up in front of Darcy as well, and they took the shots when they needed to take them. They blocked the shots when they needed to take them, and they played as a unit. Last year, before the season even started, I said they're going to be that sleeping dragon team. They're going to be that team to watch out for, and they've proven themselves. So on that note, I'm going to say a bunch of prairie barking dogs just beat prehistorical saber-toothed tigers.
What you going to do?
Pee on a cactus.
Our logo is still cooler. I'm just saying our logos look better. I'm just saying.
Hey, those Cochino, or if I'm saying it right, the Cochino.
The Kachina. Yeah, the Kachina.
Jerseys. You know what? Stick with them, boys. Stick with them.
They are pretty. I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
I love that. I love the throwbacks.
So in that series, Arizona took Nashville 3-1. No one saw that one coming. Next one, which one do you want to do?
Let's talk about Chicago and Edmonton. Let's talk about that because, man, all right, because this goes to a little bit of Nashville history. Chicago fans, y'all remember 2017? I do. You talk about the fall of an empire, like what's going on in Pittsburgh. Same thing happened to Chicago.
Yeah.
So now you got these old veterans, these golden gods of Chicago, Taze, DeBrincat, Kane, the whole shabeel. You have high caliber talent. You have experience with 2 Stanley Cups, which most of the team, not all of them, but most of that team is still intact in Chicago.
Yeah.
They lost their coach.
They've had 3 in the last they got nominated as the team of the century.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even be mad about that. Like, seriously. And we talk about how Quenneville has had very bad time in Florida, but you look at what he gave Chicago for the time he was there. I mean, he had a lot of firepower to deal with and to use, high caliber talent, Crawford, a good Crawford. The Crawford we saw, I'll let you talk about that because you had quite a few things to talk about with Crawford.
Yep.
I thought it was great to see Chicago actually kind of come roaring out of the dust of slumber and to play at that level. Like, I was kind of having like early 2010s flashbacks of Chicago. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's that team. They're back. And I don't, as a Nashville fan, we technically hate Chicago, but I love Taze. I love DeBrincat. I love Kane. I love those guys. They're fantastic, phenomenal players.
Yeah.
And it was good to see them come up and come out like they did.
What do you think of Edmonton?
Edmonton will do Edmonton things.
You mean like lose?
What?
So like lose, right?
Yeah, no. Have all this beautiful, amazing talent and somehow still lose.
Yeah.
They're going to do Edmonton things like lose. It's funny because the Hawks won one of the first series in Rogers Place. Oof.
Edmonton's kind of like going to Baskin Robbins and picking that one flavor out of the 31 flavors, and you never tried it before, and then you're like, oh my God, that looks so good, and then you bite into it, and you're like, oh my God, I just wasted my money on this shit.
That's literally the entire roster of Edmonton right now.
Yep.
Goalie department, defense department, centers, forward, all of them, just except for McDavid and Draisaitl. Look at that.
Yep.
God bless them. They try.
So my point of view on Chicago, and I'm not going to lie, I did say Crawford looked like an old man. He could barely move. He was struggling to get back into position. The Crawford that came during the quarter or the qualifiers, I haven't seen that Crawford in years. He played his tits off, and they got miraculous goals towards the end of the third period. Taze got miraculous goals, and their firing power just kept on going and going and going. And I know Kevin Smith started out first, and then he got peppered. And then they switch out, and Koskinen comes in, and Koskinen stands on his head, wins the next game. And after that, Chicago just bullied their way into that. And just like old men, they know how to play together. They played together a long time, and they took advantage of that. They got playoff knowledge. So any closing thoughts on that one?
When you take, like what you said, when you take experience and knowledge of how to play a playoff series, how to play a series, and you couple that, really you could say coaching, but I don't think coaching had anything to do with it. I think it had everything to do with the veterans knowing how to play with each other. I think it had everything to do with Crawford figuring out some kind of new life force, whether that be, drinking Keith Richards' blood or like channeling Terry Sawchuk. I don't know what he did, but he did. He looked like the Crawford that we saw for those cup runs. The Crawford that Chicago fans know is always there, but has never came back out.
Yep.
But yeah, no, they played great in front of him, and they did everything right. I think Chicago, yet again, is one of those teams that's like, you don't expect anything out of them, and they know it. They know. They don't expect us to do anything.
Yep.
Hell, let me show you a thing or two, son. Let me show you how we do it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, got to hand it to Chicago. And Edmonton, you fired your GM. Y'all got a lot more problems to figure out than just all that. Trust me. Y'all got a long road ahead.
So my closing thoughts on that series is one, I got to give a loud shout out to one of my family members that's part of the coaching staff, Matt Meacham. He's a video coach for the team. They brought him up a couple times during the broadcast while they're playing. So loud shout out to my family member. The other one, Calvin DeHaan, one of my favorite defensemen for the year that he was with Carolina. Great guy. Got a chance to meet him a few times. He got to know me just because of the whole kilt thing there. He tried to get me to lift it up during one of the warm-ups, and I just kind of like shook my head like, no. But you know what? Good job. Way to impress me and way to shock my choice to go with Edmonton.
Can't
So,
call them all, Jeff.
hey, no, and I used to do the Swami thing. So now, do we do Vancouver or do we do Calgary? Because those two are kind of, I mean, they weren't as much fun to watch, in my opinion.
I think what's coming out of the Calgary and Winnipeg ones are the hits. I really do.
Yeah.
That was a very brutal series. And of course, we all knew that once Scheifele and Laine and all them got taken out, Calgary pretty much, not Calgary, but Winnipeg just folded.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hellebuck didn't even look like Hellebuck.
No, and that's weird for him. He did not play anything like the Hellebuck I've seen him play as. That's the goalies too. Can we just say this like a broad overall? The goalies have had a very big sway in these games in the qualifier. Very big. And I don't know, Jeff. You're a goalie yourself. What is that? What does that come from?
So I'm going to save that until after we get done with all the games, because I have an analogy just watching all the games that I'd rather save until we go through all the series.
Okay.
Just because. But I always like watching Winnipeg play. They're a fun team to watch. But without their studs on the ice, I mean, it's the same thing with what Boston's going through right now. So, yeah, the goalies were the key factor in that one. Talbot stood on his head, and he's a prior Ranger, and he did everything and anything to make sure that puck stayed out of the net. And then so they won their series 3-1. I do apologize. Chicago did win their series 3-1 over Edmonton. And then Vancouver and Minnesota. I think the greatest thing that Minnesota. So the only thing that good out of that one is Eric Staal's.
No. Yeah. Oy, oy, oy.
Definitely called a Wild. But you know what? They stayed all right. They stayed at Stalock Bay, and now they get to go back to Minnesota.
Yeah. We talked about the Minnesota-Vancouver matchup and our predictions. I want to talk a little bit about Minnesota. They have good talent. They have guys like Suter. I can say that name.
Need a bag?
Give me 1 second. If I say it again, I'm gonna need a bag.
All right.
They have guys like him and Stahl and Dubnyk and net, and they got what they got.
Yeah.
Vancouver has young men, willing and able-bodied men, just wanting to go out and play hockey. Really, I heard more last season. I heard more about Vancouver's gaming exploits than I did about their actual on-ice stuff. Really, they have a junior team playing in the NHL, like a junior attitude team. But when they hit the ice, man, they were ready. They were ready for everything the Wild was going to do. They came out, and Pedersen and all the boys did what they had to do and got it done.
Exactly. I mean, God, Quentin Hughes was a stud. I don't think it was so much Markstrom that backstopped them, because they played as a team. They played as a unit. They came out every night ready to play. Minnesota, just the Wild seemed to be mild.
They were average.
Exactly.
Which I don't know. I don't know what that is too. Yet again, we could talk about teams that should have won, should have came in and stomped, and we could just talk about attitude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that's what I could boil that down to. You think about all the cockiness between Stahl and Suter. Oh, I need a bag. No, you could talk about all the confidence and the false idea of we're gonna go in, we're gonna stomp Vancouver. And Vancouver's like, dude, I just had to put my Twitch account on pause. Can we please just beat you and get this over with? Like, Yeah, I mean, I love Vancouver. I really do. I've always really liked their team. I've loved the Sedins when they played for them too. Just they were so much fun to watch.
I think Minnesota should have really put in Dubnik. Stalock he's a young guy. They're trying to force him to be number one, and you know what? Maybe Dubnik would have been a game changer. We'll never know. Any closing thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, Minnesota. Go back and hang out in the Twin Cities for a little bit and go play some pond hockey when the winter comes around. Enjoy.
Exactly.
See ya.
So in those two series, the Calgary versus Winnipeg and the Vancouver versus Minnesota, Calgary and Vancouver both won their series 3-1. So let's not take too much time on the round robin because I'll just go through it real quick. Topping the league in a shocking, going from fourth place to first place. Philadelphia, 3-game wins. Tampa coming back with 2-1 for the second seed. Washington, 1-1-1 to take the third seed. Here's my biggest shocker and the greatest thing I've ever heard all day because the Carolina Canes get to have another beatdown, but I think the beatdown this time is going to go against Boston instead of them taking us out like they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
And they lose all 3 games. And you know what? Tuka sheet.
He took a sheet.
So
He took a percola.
So 4 games or those 4 teams want to talk about it real quick or
Carter Hart.
Here's the heart of the city.
Claude Giroux and Carter Hart again for Philadelphia.
Oscar Strong.
Yeah. Oh, and Limp Oscar. Bro, I love you to death, man. Oh my God, what a guy, man. You come out and beat cancer, then go from fourth to first. Go.
Yep.
Dude. I mean, jeez. And Carter, yeah. As a goalie fan, and you as a goalie, you watch that kid play Boston. You're just like,
yep.
He's abnormal. They named the trophy after him 80-something odd years before he was born. That's respect.
I know. And you know what? The only thing I got to say about the Eastern Conference is don't only ring that cancer bell, Oscar. Let's ring that bell into the playoffs and maybe see you down the road against the Canes. So
that'd be awesome.
Now as for the Western Conference, we got Vegas did Vegas things. And they did not disappoint.
No, Vegas is a solid team. They have been since inception. And I'm going to hear the entire league go, it was given. I just stop. Still producing good playoff runs, even in qualifiers and round robins.
And they performed the show. Every game was a show. 2 out of the 3 were overtime wins. Or not overtime wins, but comebacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, big comebacks. So
Vegas
I'm going to give it up to
Vegas things.
I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Lee Orchard, who's the Vegas Golden Knight. He's cheering on from Vegas. Me and him have been in contact a little bit, so loud shout out to him and the Vegas Golden Knights. Go Knights, go! The next one's going to be Colorado. Colorado wasn't a disappointment.
Nope.
They took the second seed. I think Grubauer played 1 game, or no, he played all the games. That's right. He pretty much did what he needed to do. He stood in front of the boys, and he led that team. Landeskog had a few good ones. I don't think Kadri was mentioned all that much, but I think he scored at least 1 or 2. So, you know what? Good luck to Colorado. Colorado and Carolina are good friends. So, go Avs. Dallas.
Dallas did more Dallas things.
Yeah.
When Bishop is your goalie, what are you going to expect but to get third?
Stars do Dallas. Let's just say that.
Double feature. Oh boy. I don't know, man. You have Dallas is a great team. Third, I feel is appropriate. Yet again, when you have Ben Bishop as your goalie. It's gonna happen. Yep. Do they still have Lithonen? Do they still have him?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. That's one of the last goalies for Dallas that I remember being important.
And then, go ahead.
But no, Dallas in third makes sense. Ben, all those guys, Pitlick, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Third is fitting.
Now, shocking. 2019 Stanley Cup champions, St. Louis Blues, not a single win. Not a single win out of the 3 games. They looked like crap. Bennington stood on his head, and his boys still couldn't perform in front of him. It was sad. It was honestly sad to watch, in my opinion. And then when you go up on Vegas in the first game, in the game against Vegas, and all you had to do is win, and they come back and win it. I mean, they score what? 3 goals, bring it into overtime, and then win in overtime. Come on.
You know what's funny is
a tunnel effect or something.
Well, it could be the Nashville effect too. That's happened to us many times where Pekka will be completely Pekka, and that Vezina goalie will come out and he will just destroy the world. But the guys can't get it done. The guys up front can't do the work. So that sucks for Bennington. That really sucks for him. I'm like you. I would have expected more out of the last year's Stanley Cup champions. I really was expecting more.
The hangover ended last year at the beginning of the new 2019-2020 season. But they looked like still hungover.
Yeah,
Joel Edmondson isn't even there to get drunk with it in his crop top.
Yeah, I know, and they need drunk Brett Hull in the bench area.
Yeah,
let's go booze.
Yes.
We went booze. Yeah, we did, Brett. Brett Hull's still hungover. I don't know about y'all, but Brett is still probably hungover. He's gonna be hungover for a while. Yeah, I hate that for St. Louis. I don't know. I think they'll get it done against Vancouver, but who knows?
So on that note, I'm not sure if you've logged into the bracket challenge.
Have not.
But for all you fans out there that are listening right now, Donnie's already done his. We're going to sign in. Go ahead and feel free to join us as well to choose your teams. If you go into the bracket challenge, look up in capital letters WTP. Right now, that's what Drew and I are doing.
Yep.
And go ahead and have fun with it. Pick your teams. So let's take a few minutes so we can, because some of us can, multitask all that well, like me at times. So once you're in, go ahead. Feel free to start talking there, Drew. Because I got a phone. You're logging in on your computer, if I am correct.
Yeah.
These things called fat fingers, and I don't always hit the right mark.
So, guys, what we're talking about is, for those of you who aren't familiar with the bracket challenge, we do have a little group set up for our bracket challenge. I did one a couple years ago just for giggles, and I was wrong. Not the first time, definitely not the last time. But lots of fun to be had. You can view our brackets and make fun of us all you want in the comments of wherever you happen to be seeing this. So, you guys should totally do this. Come along with us, join our bracket challenge. That's WTP, What the Puck. And come on and just join us, man. Let's have some fun. Let's watch some playoff hockey. Let's all just have some fun after being in quarantine for God knows how long. Some of you guys probably haven't even left your house, and you probably need a haircut, but God bless you regardless. So
stupid question. It's not letting me in. Is it letting you in?
I had to go back and get my password again. Stupid.
Gotcha. Oh, there is it. That one is it. Because it shows locked. Oh, create new bracket. There we go. God, I can be a moron sometimes. So, all right, let me know when you're in, bud.
All right.
And we'll just pick our teams. We won't go into the bonus rounds just because we are pushing that time limit right now. Still got to get to closing comments.
Okay, sign in. Huh.
You got the password to get in there?
Do not.
All right, I'll shoot that to you real quick.
Okie dokie.
There you go.
All right.
I don't want to say it online. Contact us, if anything, at one of the social media pages that I will let y'all know here in a little bit. Click on it. Just say create new bracket.
All right, I am in.
All right, Vegas versus Chicago. Who do you got?
Oh no! See, here we go. Okay, Vegas versus Chicago. I am going to go Crafty Veterans. I'm going to go Chicago. I'm going Chicago this time.
I got to go with my boys, my buddy Lee, and one of my favorite goaltenders now that he's not with Pittsburgh, Flower. And Leonard's been stellar in that series too. Not even going to lie. So I'm going to go with Vegas on that one. Colorado, okay. Arizona. So are you going to, if you can't beat them, join them, or are you going to go with the Avs?
Man, okay, so for a long time, I've had a second team, and my second team has been Detroit. I know all of my Preds fans are going to be like, why? Well, hold on. It's history, right?
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with Colorado like Detroit does. So, Arizona, do I think they have the wherewithal, firepower to beat Colorado? Absolutely not. I'm going Colorado for that one.
You know what? I'm going to go with my Sleeping Dragon, and I'm going to say Yotes over Avs. And it's going to be
here we go. It's going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be definitely fun. Definitely.
So next series, Dallas versus Calgary. I think this is a no-brainer, people. Ben Bishop is more like Ben Sleepish. Because he's really been sheepish.
Yeah, he's just a little passive in that. When it comes to Dallas and Calgary, man, I'm a big fan of Johnny Hockey.
Oh, heck yeah.
Love Johnny. I'm going Calgary for that matchup.
How many other Americans can look that good in tight jeans, a cowboy shirt, and a cowboy hat?
None. None of us.
Exactly.
And I've been to Broadway. None of us do. Y'all try.
And I've been to Fremont Street, and I have seen the chapless cowboy.
Thanks. As Ron White said, things that make you go. Ugh.
Was definitely aspiring.
As a dad, I have to give props on that joke. All right, man. St. Louis and Vancouver. Who we looking at?
I'm going Vancouver. I mean,
yeah, guys got to get this done so they can finish up their Twitch streams. I'm going Vancouver as well because I'm a Pettersson fan. Because more like Elias Floterson.
I actually want to see a Hughes. I want to see one of the Hughes boys succeed because the other one is definitely not succeeding in New Jersey. And that was he wasn't a flop of a pickup. He's a hell of a player in New Jersey, but New Jersey, they need to give him to somebody that actually knows how to play hockey.
Exactly. That's what we were talking about earlier. You can get all the nice picks you want, and they look really great on paper. How is your coaching, how is your staff utilizing them in the lineup? And that's what's going to count this year.
So we'll go through the next round pretty quickly. Vegas or who do you got going in Vegas versus Colorado?
I got Chicago versus Colorado in this. Yeah, I got Chicago versus Colorado in the second round. I'm going to say Colorado takes them out. Yeah.
And for me, I'm going to say just because, even though I want to go with my Sleeping Dragon, I'm going with my Golden Knights. So Knights over Arizona.
All right. Next up for me in second round, we got Vancouver and Calgary. Yet again, two young teams, two good teams, fast players, hard hitters, snipers galore. It's like straight up 1945 Stalingrad sniping. So in this one, for me, I think Calgary has the physical edge, beats out Vancouver.
All right. I got to agree with you. Calgary they're an up-and-coming team. I mean, they have been an up-and-coming team, and they've been showing it year after year. So for me, Battle of Western Canada, two Canadian teams, I'm going to go Calgary because they're literally what their name says. They're on fire. Their team's lighting up.
All right.
So you have Chicago versus Calgary.
Colorado versus Calgary.
Or Colorado. God, I got to start paying attention.
It's all right. Man, that's going to be I hope this conference final happens because I think it would be so much fun. One, you have two sides of this. One, you have Colorado, which has a very good Stanley Cup history behind them. You have Calgary. Hasn't been to a Cup final since, like, ever. It's been forever since they've seen the final.
I think it's 89 or 90, isn't it?
No, the last time I think it was the 80s when they got a Cup.
Yeah, it was 89. I think it was
89. It was like, Lenny McDonald was still playing for him.
Yep.
Lanny the Stash.
Yep.
That stash is still unrivaled. I challenge any of these young players to grow a Lonnie stash. Like, do it. I dare you. You won't. Incomparable.
I'm already growing a Eric Carlson style hairstyle.
I see what you got going on. The pirate thing. Yarg. Look at the choppy flow, me boys.
Exactly. And you know who else was a star stud on that team and it was a rookie when they won it?
Who?
Theo Fleury.
Yeah. No relation to Mark, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Theo was the man. I'm going to have to go, as much as my heart tells me, I want to pick Calgary because of the blessing of Lanny's mustache. I feel like with Landeskog and all their top line, Grubauer actually playing well. Hopefully he makes it to the conference finals playing well. I'm going Colorado.
For me, it's a hard choice because I love my boys out in Vegas, but Calgary is just so much fun to watch. And I'm so disappointed that the season ended the way that it did because I would have loved to see Calgary-Edmonton in the first round because that's the way it was headed. So on my other brackets, I've been choosing Vegas to win the Western Conference, but for this one, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Calgary.
All right. Dope. So, on to the East.
Does Montreal upset Philadelphia, or does Philadelphia upset or continue their hot streak?
I love you, mes amis, but I'm sorry. No. No way you're getting through that brick wall of Carter Hart. Ain't no way he's letting you have it all day like Murray. So I'm going to say Philadelphia takes out Montreal.
I'm going to say the heart of the city is going to take out the beast of Montreal's Carey Price right now. So Philadelphia it is.
All right. Next up on the lot is Tampa Bay and Columbus. Tampa Bay, make sure you take your meds, man, because you're going to be having some pretty hardcore flashbacks.
I don't know. I really don't know. The way that after watching the games, Tampa is looking solid. Columbus has come together as a team because they don't have that many superstars, but that's what's helping them out.
Mm-hmm. No egos.
Yep. So I'm going to go Tampa.
You know what? I can't. I think you got Seth Jones and very good guys behind him too. And I want to say they do it again because Tampa's never made it out of the first round. Well, they have. They're just not making it that far out of the first. I'm going with Columbus.
All right. Washington and Islanders.
Washington, let's not even spend time on this as to why. I really don't think we need to. Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, Oshie, Holtby when he's good. Tom Wilson. I don't care what y'all say about Tommy. I don't. I like Tom Wilson. There, I said it. Ooh, everybody's mad now. Everybody's real mad now.
Duke and Wilson just makes me.
It's what makes everybody do that. I like Tom. I like all the other guys on Washington. And really, when I talk to you about, I grew up in Baltimore, so therefore I have regional loyalty that I must attend to. It doesn't give me any sense of a win because I'm not allowed to claim that cup. However, I'm going to go with Washington beating the Islanders for sure because there's no way this side of the world.
I'm going to say an upset and have the Islanders come in and beat Washington. And the whole time, I'd rather let Brad Marchand lick me and maybe give me a kiss on the face. I never say anything nice about Tom Wilson.
Oh, man. Okay, so, that's going to be interesting. If that happens, dude, you know what? If that happens, okay, we'll figure out something. I'll wear like a cone of shame or something. All right, final up. And you can go ahead and be as biased as you want because I have no dog in this fight.
Carolina's going to do it in 5. Or no, 6. I'm going to say 6 games. Boston looked like a pile of shit. And
I don't like Boston, so I'm going to pick.
Dench wanted to stay on the pile of shit. They look so bad.
I'm going to go ahead and pick Carolina as well, just because, sorry, Boston guys, I don't like you.
Yeah, I only Bostonians like Boston.
Yep.
So, and then this round we'll just go by real quick. Again, we are pushing.
Yeah, a little bit lengthy. Don's going to be mad at us.
Yeah. All right, so Flyers or Islanders? For me, I'm going to go with Flyers over Islanders.
Okay. I got Flyers in Columbus. I'm going to go Flyers all the way.
For me, Tampa versus Carolina, that's going to be a tough one. Carolina has pretty much had Tampa's number all year. I'm going to go Carolina. I have to.
Okay. Washington versus Carolina. I'm sorry, Jeff. I love Washington, and I love Tom. So I'm going to have Washington beating Carolina and going on to play Philadelphia in the conference finals for the East.
Hey, whatever happened in Nashville last week?
We're not going to talk about that. We already talked about that. We're not going to go there.
All right. So, all right. For me, I have Philly versus Carolina. As much as I love my Carolina Hurricanes, because I think we tied the series with Philly. So, if I had to flip a coin, I'm going to go Philly. Just make this one fun. So I got a Philly-Calgary final. And in that series, I'm going to go Flyers. I hate saying it, and I know Donnie's going to hate me saying it, but the Flyers are on fire.
They are. They picked up right where they left off at the pause. They have not stopped. It's been pure momentum. I got Philadelphia versus Washington. I'm not saying that Ovi and the boys can't get it done. However, you coming up against a hot Philadelphia team right now, if they maintain that momentum all the way through the second round of the conference finals, they're going to steamroll Ovechkin. I'm sorry, big guy.
And they steamrolled them last week during the round robin. So
exactly. So we're going to go with Philadelphia and Colorado on mine, and I am going to pick, and I've never picked out a conference. I'm going Philadelphia to win the Stanley Cup final.
All right. So
the Cup returns to Broad Street.
All right. There you have it, guys. So I'm going to go right into the last bit of it. I just want to make sure all you guys check us out at both Twitter and Instagram. On Twitter, we're Game On Everyone, and on Instagram, we're Game On Sports Podcast. Do you have any last shout-outs there, Drew?
Man, I want to say shout-out real quick to all my Smashville fans, man. Hey, if y'all guys are watching this, don't be disheartened. Don't be upset. Love our boys still. Understand that things happen. It's not what you want. It's not ever what you want. But we're going to come right back at it the regular season. We got time to work on it now. Also, a big shout out to everybody who watches or listens or however you consume Game On. We appreciate your support, your love, all your comments. It's certainly appreciated. If y'all ever want to get in contact with us or tell us some insider info, if there's any insiders who watch this who know some things I don't know or Jeff don't know or Donnie don't know, go ahead and hit us up, man. All of our stuff is open. So, yeah, hockey's back. We're talking playoffs now.
First round, baby.
Let's go. First round. Let's go.
So my last shout-out of the night goes straight up to Montreal, and that's to Carey Price for handing the best birthday present ever in the handshake to Sidney Crosby. And that's a goodbye ticket. So that's my shout-out to Carey Price. My other shout-out goes to the Canes. Let's go, Canes. Take warning, boys. We ain't the same team, Boston, so you better watch out, and we will do our skull claps at the end. even if it's not on the ice, make sure you watch out for us fans. So on that note, great show. We'll see you next week. Hopefully some really good hockey again. And hopefully Donnie will be here. I know you got places to go next week, Drew. So
Yep.
it was good chatting with you tonight, and we'll see y'all later.
Good night, everybody.